My name is Jessica Pierce, and if you are joining us today, thank you for being here. If you are a first-time guest with us, we are thrilled you found us. And what I would like to do, typically at our events, we like to get people up and moving and networking and talking, but because we can't do that, what I would like you all to do is to find the chat box, which is, most of us will have it at the bottom of our screen if you're on a computer, but find the little chat, and in the chat box, I would love for you to tell us where you're dialing in from, where you're calling in from, and then either the industry that you're in, or maybe the job title, the kind of position you're looking for. And go ahead, and I'm gonna put a note in the chat and just tell us where you're from and industry and job. So if you could all just respond to that. Keep an eye on the chat. If you see somebody in there that's in the same type of industry or job as you, it would be great if you guys could have a conversation offline. Hi, Nancy from Scottsdale, welcome. Beth from Gilbert, we see you guys coming in. Beth is in IT, or Nancy's in IT, so just oh, Cynthia, great, from Queen Creek, she's a recruiter. So if you guys could start to do that, we are gonna use the chat all day long. If you have questions, just pop them up in the chat. We have somebody that will be going through that all day today. So welcome, we are so glad you're here. I think Sheila is going to walk us through a couple things. Sheila Coulomb is the Chief Officer, Operations Officer for our organization, Career Connector. So Sheila, will you walk us through this, please?
Sure. Hey, good morning. Welcome, everybody. I'm excited to be here. One of the many ways we all need to stay in touch during this time. I want to give you a little bit of a tour. First of all, if you're having any trouble with your sound, check your system sound settings. And if you still need help, there's a phone number on the screen right here, 480-442-5806. Our team can help you with that. And in addition to the chat, we also have Q&A available. Somewhere on your screen there should be a toolbar that pops up, and there's a Q&A with speech bubbles. If you have any questions about the webinar or for our speakers, you can go ahead and type them in there, and we'll be monitoring those, and we'll have discussion at the conclusion of each speaker depending on what comes in. Also, if you're viewing this on Facebook Live, use the comments on the Facebook Live to do what Jessica was saying in the chat, or for the Q&A, because we're watching those as well. As far as how your screen looks, everybody's screen might look a little bit differently depending on the device you're using to view, but you should have some options. Right now, you probably see 3 of us speakers, and then you can change how that's displayed. There's little icons above where I appear right now, and you can change how that's displayed. You can move it around on screen, so that should help. And I am just thrilled that the internet is working at my house. Let's hope that continues. And yeah, I think that was about it. Thanks.
Great, thank you, Sheila. Our goal to provide some resources, next steps, some encouragement, and just some guidance in this time of change. We know so many of you have been affected by the economy and what's going on, whether you had already been affected previously or you're affected now. And I just want to make sure you guys know that there is hope. You all know, or many of you may know, that the stimulus package did pass. So we're interested to see what the waterfall effect of that is, but most people should be affected by that positively in some way. So just, I'm glad you're here, because that means you're taking a next good step. So today we have Travis Hardin here. He is going to be talking about communicating your capabilities. Then you're going to hear from Christina at Voya Financial, Ryan with West Pharmaceutical Services, and Alex with U-Haul. At the end, we're going to talk about how you can connect directly with one-on-one resources. So if you need your resume reviewed, if you need mock interviewing, or maybe some LinkedIn coaching, or all of them, we now have a system set up. So we're going to help you connect directly one-on-one with those resources, so you have virtual coaching available to you. All right, so Travis is here today. Thank you for coming back, Travis. We so appreciate having you. We had Travis gonna do a in-person event again, and now we're switching to virtual, so we really appreciate you being flexible. Travis is a native of the great state of Tennessee. He received his Bachelor's of Arts degree from Aquinas College, which is in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and as a John Maxwell certified speaker and trainer, he's equipped in aiding your personal and professional growth through study and practical application of proven leadership methods. For more than 15 years, Travis has given inspirational speeches for purposeful living, specifically on production capacity, personal and professional growth, overcoming disciplinary challenges, and diversity and inclusion. And his self-reflective transparency in speeches and workshops has provided him with opportunities to speak around the globe. It gives him the greatest level of humility to inspire people and demonstrate in practice that all of us can grow and increase our positive influence on this generation and those around us beyond our wildest expectations. He challenges you to a new season of growth, and it begins with your passion to reach new levels. Welcome, Travis. And as a side note, he will be talking. We will not have a presentation for him. He is going to engage with you directly, so you can have him right on your screen. So welcome, Travis. So glad to have you here today.
Top of the morning. Appreciate you, Jessica. Thank you for that welcome. I'll send you a check later for that. I owe you for that. I did not write that up. That's all Jessica. She's trying to get some money. I do believe. I love it. I will send that later. To those of you that are joining in today, I am peacock proud and honeymoon happy to be here with you in such a time of drastic shift in our nation, in our world, in our own communities, and in our families. I'm challenged to be here to provide something that some of us, all of us, can hold on to. I am looking forward to, over the next few minutes, sharing some positive, effective steps that we can all utilize to help us become better in whether it's our careers, our specific industries, in our families, as men, as women, whatever it is. We're all impacted by this, every single one of us. COVID-19, coronavirus is impacting the entire world. No one can escape from it, whether directly or indirectly. And we're here today to shed a little light on how we can get through it, because we will get through it. To those on the backside, Sheila, Julia, those who are working behind the scenes, thank you for all that you're doing. Career Connectors as a whole, we love what you're doing, the value you're adding to this community and communities abroad. I was sitting here in my office, and my daughter runs in. She says, Dad, I need you to come in here and see something. And I said, well, we're all working from home. We're getting used to our kids being remote, our spouses, significant others being remote. We're all getting used to something new. At the end of the day, she said, Dad, I need you to see my new fort. Your new fort? Well, let's check it out. Let's check out the new fort. So I go, and there's blankets and covers and sheets everywhere. It's a huge fort. It's like a 8-foot by 8-foot fort. And I could walk in, and my wife walked in, and she said, Dad, and it was dark. And she said, Dad, this little light right here, this will allow us to see anything we need to see on the inside. And I'm thinking to myself, man, I love the imagination of an elementary school age kid, an 11-year-old. She said, but wait, Dad, it's dark out there, but in here we have this little light. And she had her word search off to the side. She had a couple of books off to the side. She had her Kindle off to the side, and she had her laptop in there. She said, out there it's dark, but in here we have light, so we can see and read and do whatever we want to inside here. And that's where we're going to hang out this morning. Just a little bit of light. Out there, we see deaths due to COVID-19, coronavirus causing. We see unemployment numbers going through the roof. We see 80,000+ here in the city of Phoenix and Maricopa County, and I'm sure it's more. That's just what has been reported. People who have filed unemployment claims. That's dark out there. But inside here, this morning, we're going to have that little light to say, you know what? It's all right. we're going to make it because we're in it together. You're not by yourself. I'm not by myself. You and I, we're all in this together. So as we look at communicating our capabilities, how do you effectively communicate your capabilities? How do I, Travis, I get it. You talk about things are tough, and I know you're an optimist, and things are going well for you. But for me, in my circumstance, in my situation, my daughter wasn't building a fort. Things are different at my home. Well, not really. Things are challenging for myself, my wife, my daughter. I shared the story before most of you got on. My mom, 73 years old. Right now, she's laying in a hospital bed in the Henry Ford Hospital Network in Michigan. She tested positive for coronavirus, COVID-19. She's battling through it. And she was also battling pneumonia at the same time. So I've been dealing with doctors and the hospital. Yes, it's impacting me, but I can't allow that to put out my light. And so we'll continue talking about, we'll further talk about how I communicate my capabilities and do it effectively. The first thing, if you're not taking notes, I encourage you, I'll give you a second or two to grab something to write on, grab a pen, grab a pencil. I see some of you just took a bite of muffin. I saw a bagel just go up. I see you. Just because we're virtual doesn't mean I can't see you. And for those of you that have dialed in on the phone, I see you're thinking, he can't see me. You have your TV on, you're texting, you're looking at Facebook, you're doing things. Hey, let's tune in. Grab something to write with. If you're using an electronic device, you can utilize that. But I think you'll take advantage and you'll be helped and impacted by taking just a few notes. I'm only going to share a few things. I will get out of your way, and then we'll continue on with today's workshop here with Career Connectors. Some of you drinking coffee. Look at you. I see you. The first thing that comes to mind when I'm thinking of how do I communicate effectively? How do I communicate my capabilities in times like this? Travis, nothing around me is going the way that I planned. And my response to that is perspective. Specifically, how to have a belief perspective is how you can effectively communicate your capabilities. How you view determines how and what you do. How you view determines how and what you do. You can't, many of us would say, well, Travis, I want a career position in IT or in logistics or the healthcare field. I want this and I want that, but yet you're communicating something totally different. Had a young gentleman come to me and say, Travis, I really appreciate the wisdom that you're sharing and the things that you're sharing. And he said, you always talk about your values. And he said, I would love to obtain a valued position with a valued company that values people, that values our efforts. And I'm thinking to myself, that's great. He's saying all the right things. But then on Facebook, and then on LinkedIn, and then on social media platforms, the same individual who wants positivity is shedding negativity in social media. So how do I effectively communicate my capabilities is how you view determines how and what you do. And I go back to the same individual and I said, hey, on one hand, you're saying you want to obtain a career position and have this value add from people and in a role, but yet your remarks and your comments, your responses on social media are not of value to other people. And it's ineffectively communicating his capabilities. So we have to be mindful when we communicate on social media platforms. Everything, especially now that everyone's virtual, everyone is sheltered down, sheltered in, you're locked in. And most of what we're doing is right here in front of us. Our phones, our computers. How you view determines how and what you do. Your belief perspective determines how you will lead others, how you will influence others. All of that is communicating to other people. Had a gentleman of a business, he's a business owner, come to me a couple months ago. And I didn't know him, I had never met him. I had spoken to a group of about 700 people, it was between 700 and 800 people. And he says, Travis, yes. And I hadn't posed a question in the seminar, the workshop. I hadn't asked the question. I didn't leave anyone with it. He said, yes, whatever you need, whatever you're doing, who you are, yes. He said, because I came to this, a gentleman on the East Coast, a gentleman in Baltimore, Maryland, good friend of mine, longtime friend of mine, said, hey, this guy's going to be speaking and you need to go to his workshop. And he went on to say that because his friend told him he needed to come see me, he came to the workshop. He heard 90 minutes worth of material. He said, who you are, what you're doing, yes, whatever you need. Travis, whatever you need, whatever you need. Talk about perspective, talk about belief perspective. And that's where we need to be. It can look daunting. I believe that Goliath moments come into our lives so we can pull the little David inside of us out. It's the little light. It's the little light. You don't need a big light. It's the little light that we're trying to communicate. This is how we effectively communicate the little light. Many of you have the imagery of the 8x8 fort, and yes, I'm going to stay in there because most of what we talk about will be around the 8x8 fort that my daughter made, because on the outside it's dark, but here on the inside, there's light, there's light. Perspective. Those who go first, I'm a firm believer, those who go first have the distinction of being an inspiration, of being motivation. This inspires, this attracts other people. This inspires other people. If you go first, if you lead out and say, you know what, regardless of what everyone else is saying, I'm going to be the first one to speak positivity, regardless of what the business is doing, regardless of what unemployment is looking like, I'm going to get out there and I'm going to be the first in the distinction of being a leader. I'm going to get out and I'm going to say, I don't have to say a thing, but my actions are going to speak louder than anything that I can possibly say, because I'm going to get out and I'm going to do. Perspective, specifically, how to have a belief perspective, how to have a belief perspective. That's communicating big. We have to develop the mindset, rather than saying, can I, which carries a lot of doubt, D-O-U-B-T, doubt, can I? We need to develop the mindset of, how can I? Doubt is D-O-U-B-T. Do is, how can I? How can I? Many of us are saying, can I make it through this? Can I weather this storm? Can I make it through COVID-19? Everything is dim. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Together we can. You can't do it by yourself. I can't do it by myself, but together we can. And that's how we effectively communicate our capabilities. If I change my mindset from, can I do it, to how can I do it, I remove doubt and I add a do attitude, a can do attitude. And if I develop the mindset, shift the mindset from can I to how can I, I'm going to be a bigger, better, much stronger individual for everyone around me in the coming weeks and the coming months and the coming years. Yes, I'm saying years because this is not going to take you out. This too shall pass. It shall pass. Many of us, we carry around on our shoulders because we're saying that we want bigger and better, but our gestures, our body language is more of a victim mindset. No, even virtually, you guys are looking at me and saying, man, he's, some of you may be saying, how much coffee did he drink? I don't drink coffee. This is all natural. I will admit, I do take Flintstone vitamins plus iron. I had 2 of those. I take them every morning. I've been doing that since I was, 7, 8 years old. That I can remember. I take 2 Flintstone vitamins. This is me. I don't want a victim mindset. This is a victor situation we're in. We're not victims. We want to effectively communicate that we're capable of being victors in the midst of the most, in my lifetime, 43 years, this is the darkest storm that we've seen. But just because it's dark outside doesn't mean that it has to be dark on the inside. So we have to develop the victor mindset and not the victim mindset. We have to stop speaking victimese. We have to stop speaking victimese. Leave the victimese at home. Leave it at home. When you get out, you have to get in the mindset, you know what, I'm not speaking victimese. I'm going to speak positivity and I'm going to speak light. That's where we are. That's where we're going. That's where we are, and that's where we're going. Number two. So that one was perspective, specifically how to have a belief perspective. Believe me, I'm not avoiding or trying to avoid the fact that things are looking down. But just like my daughter, she said, Dad, it's dark on the outside, but in here, I have light for us to see. Your belief perspective, number 2, your belief perspective and how you communicate, how you effectively communicate your capabilities is that same belief perspective impacts other people. It has a positive influence on others. Hiring managers, hiring companies, and there are a lot of companies, and you'll hear about those at the conclusion of my session. You'll hear about companies that are hiring. So many people are saying, man, I'm being displaced, I'm being furloughed, I'm being laid off, I'm being fired, I'm losing my job. But there are companies that are hiring. Sometimes we have to do what we need in order to do what we want. Sometimes we have to do what we need in order to do what we want. I know I want that level 10 job, but I may have to take and I may have to do a level 6 or 7 job until this thing turns around, until this shift that we're in ceases and things start getting bright again on the outside. I may need to do a 6 or 7 in order to get to that 10. It has an impact on others. Your belief system, here's the key. Your belief system goes before you go. Your belief system, our belief system, goes before we go. I just gave an example moments ago. Another example, a good friend of mine, Donnell, he's with Johnson Control. He's out of Dallas. He just recently relocated to Dallas, been in Chicago for many years. And Donnell called me one day. He said, Travis, man, I'm getting tired of shoveling snow. He's in North Chicago. He said, I'm tired of shoveling snow. I'm tired of getting out an extra 30 minutes to start the vehicles and warm up the cars. I'm tired of scraping windows and I grew up in Detroit, so I know a little bit about that cold weather, but now I'm in Phoenix. For those of you who are in Phoenix, Arizona, we don't have to shovel sunshine. We don't have to remove any snow from the nice sunny days here in Arizona, where we get 0 days of snow, at least in the valley. Up in Flagstaff, you'll see some. But Donnell said, I'm tired of the snow. And he said, you know what? I need to position myself for promotion, and I don't quite know how to do it, because the promotion he wanted was in Dallas, Texas area. He's in Chicago. Yes, he could call and work on some things with networking with the team in Dallas. But you know what he did? He decided to revamp his online presence. He decided to go after and review and concentrate on things that were in the field that he was looking to go to, the career position to go down to Dallas that he was looking to go to. And he started effectively communicating his capabilities online, Facebook, particularly LinkedIn. He started sharing, what he's doing and the books that he started reading based on this particular role that he was looking to obtain, talking about your belief system goes before you. And he started believing, you know what? I'm reading more, I'm researching more on how I can obtain this position. And then recruiters from within his own company got wind through LinkedIn. Man, we got a hit. Algorithms showed that you were looking and interested in potentially moving into a role. We have a role in Dallas that you're looking to get into, and it's right in line with what he was wanting, what he was looking for. It's because he believed it, and his belief system went before him. He didn't have to say a thing. He believed it. He hungered down. He started reading with that little light. He started researching with that little light. He started doing the things necessary with the little light, even though it was dark, even though he had 3.5 feet of snow outside and freezing 10 below zero. He started believing, you know what? I'd like to be in Dallas. I'd like to be in the Texas area. And he started making the necessary steps on, this is how I get there. Well, I'm here to tell you today that Donnell and his family, they've relocated to the Dallas area. They're looking for a home. They're in the Frisco, Dallas area. Particularly, he just showed me a home up in Aubrey, Texas. Beautiful place, beautiful area there in North Dallas, just north of Dallas, north of Louisville. Great opportunity for us to understand what it means if I put my belief perspective in order, I can impact others. But you have to put your belief system out there, because it goes first. It goes before you. Sometimes you don't have to say a word. I don't have to say a word. You don't have to say a word. We don't have to say a word. If we're going to effectively communicate our capabilities, we have to put our belief system out there, which goes before us. Another thing that we can look at when looking at effectively communicating our capabilities is understanding that a belief system of yes makes you attractive to others. I'm not saying we need to be yes men and yes women, but we have to have an overarching belief and a belief system that yes is going to be the ultimate outcome. There are enough no's in a day. There are enough no's in a day, enough no's in a day to last us all a lifetime. But the key is we have to have yeses. Yeses is what attract others. Leaders and effective communicators of their capabilities, they're described as encouraging, passionate, and they're belief magnets. When you have a belief system of yes around you, the aura, when you come into a room, hey, that's someone I need to connect with. When Jessica walks into a room, there's no question about who Jessica is and what she can bring to the table. Jessica brings a lot of positivity. There's no question when Alex walks into a room. what value he's going to bring. When Christina walks into a room, there's no question about what they're going to bring to the table. There's an aura of yes. Sheila, when Sheila and I met a number of years ago, Sheila said to me, she said, Travis, she said, you shed hope. You shed hope. She said, and she told me stories about her family. And she said, you know, you remind me a lot of me a few years ago. She said, and I've continued to grow. And so as leaders, as effective communicators of our capabilities, we have to have an aura of yes around us. When people look at you, they may see that it's dark. But because you have an aura of yes around you, you're communicating that it's possible, there's hope. I coined the phrase, I always say, and you can use it. We want to be neighborhood hope dealers. I used an H there. We want to be neighborhood hope dealers. We want to say every time we come around a situation, a function, a workshop, a session, a seminar, whether it's virtual or in person, whatever it is, I'm going to shed hope. That's what I want to do. That's what I believe. That's my belief system. I do not ever want to go anywhere and discourage anyone from doing anything. And these individuals here, Career Connectors, that's what it's all about. It's all about hope. It's all about shedding hope. It's all about being the neighborhood hope dealer. Because you matter. Because you're important. Because what you want to do, it's achievable. During times like this, you just have to shift a little bit and do what you need to do in order to do what you want to do. Belief in yourself, and then also part of that, it's one thing to be a belief magnet and believe in yourself, but we also have to believe in others. And I get it, it's hard. Right now, you have coronavirus everywhere. You can't find toilet paper at the store. You can't find laundry detergent. You can't find the essentials at the store anywhere. I don't care where you go. People are just buying up things and they're hoarding. I call it hoarding. Never mind. I'll leave that alone. I don't know what all the toilet paper is being purchased for. I guess they feel like Corona is like a thing around toilet paper. Maybe they're wrapping themselves up in toilet paper. I don't know. But whatever the case, you have to have belief in not only yourself, but you also have to have belief in others. That story, I've seen a number of stories here locally where people who bought in abundance, they bought an abundance of toilet paper and paper towels and napkins and the bare essentials, and stores were out, and they realized, you know what, I over-purchased, and they started giving things away. I believe in other people. I believe that people ultimately, they do want the greater good for you and for I. You just have to believe in them. I often tell people when I meet them, or when we start to do business together, or when we get into workshops or sessions together, I put a 10 on their head. I believe in everyone. I believe in everyone. And I don't change that 10. I don't change it. I don't change it. This is how I effectively communicate my capabilities. I don't change the 10. I leave it at 10. They can change the number. They may change it to a 9. They may change it to a 5. They may change it to a 3, a 2. I don't change it. I believe in everyone. I believe in them. They're the ones that change it. And if we can shift our minds and our mindsets to not only believe in ourselves, but believe in others, it removes the doubt. It removes a lot of times we get into the situations, and I can't see your faces, you can see mine. We're saying one thing, but then behind closed doors, we're saying another thing. Or your mouth is saying one thing, your body's saying something totally different. You know, I really believe that I can do this. I can make it. No, I believe I can make it because I'm doing the necessary things. See the difference? On one hand, you can say, we're going to make it. We're going to make it. You and I, we're going to make it. Corona's not going to take us out. Is that believable? Are you going to believe someone who's down like that? No. Hey, we're going to make it. We're going to make it. As you bite into that sandwich, that sausage biscuit that you're eating right now, we're going to make it. Keep eating that sausage biscuit. Keep eating those bagels. Keep eating those muffins. Hey, we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. Belief system. Believe in others and believe in yourself, and also believe in others, because people are attracted to others who believe in them. I love people who believe in themselves, but I love even more the people who believe in themselves and they believe in other people. Voice belief in others, commit to their success. You have to voice belief in others, and then also commit to their success. Affirmation without accomplishment is no good. Recently, just before, this was in January, late January, working with a number of college students, and they were working on a project. They invited me to come in and help them out with a project. They wanted a local leader to come in and help out with the project, and they called upon me, and I went in, I helped them out, and I saw the finish line. I knew where they were trying to go, and I talked with the dean of the college, and in sharing with the dean of said college, the project was complete. I just didn't close the door. And I said, I'm working with these students, and you know, I empowered them. I said, you know, let's do it this way. Let's tweak it and make it not so much about an individual, but make it about a community. And all the students, they got excited. They said, yeah, this is great. But we were told the assignment was it's about a local leader. And I said, yeah, but community is more powerful and more prominent than just one individual. So they turned it in community, and they turned in the assignment and did the assignment. The dean came when they presented, and they hadn't seen the dean come in for any of the other presentations, and they got an A. Why? Because affirmation without accomplishment, it's no good. It doesn't work. You have to voice your belief in others, commit to their success. I committed to a few hours of my time. It was a couple hours the first week, couple hours the next week, meeting with them, sitting down with them, sharing with them. I had to commit to their success. It's not about me. It's not about you. Sometimes in believing in yourself, you have to believe in others, and then you have to commit to their success. Voice your belief in others. Voice your belief in others. It's just like if you're trying to get into a role, and you come to myself or Sheila or Jessica, anyone within Career Connectors, and you say, hey, I would love to get into this role. Your actions are saying you'd love to get into that role. And it's up to us. It's up to Career Connectors, this community, to voice our belief in you. And then we have to commit to your success. We have resume writers. We have people in place at Career Connectors. They do a great job of setting you up. And they do an even better job of committing to your success. We have to help others get a win by seeing the positive side to everyone's potential. You have to not only commit to the success of others, but you have to understand that all possibilities and potential are on the other side of that door called yes. And many of us live on the other side of that door called no, which we talked about. But all possibilities and all potential in others are on the other side of that door called yes. We have to believe that. And that's effectively communicating our capabilities. See how not saying something is effectively communicating a much bigger picture of who you are. It's easy to sit back and, oh man, we're locked down, we're locked in, we can't go anywhere for the next 30 days. well, that's a great time to start reading. That's a great book, a book that, man, I could suggest a lot of books, but a book that I was going through on yesterday while I was in the 8x8 fort. Bear with me, it sticks in my head. Right when she said it, I thought to myself, career connectors. That's a great lead-in for career connectors. Chuck Swindoll has a book called Improving Your Serve. Definitely take notes, jot that down. Improving Your Serve. Chuck Swindoll. Excellent book. Talking about all possibilities and potential on the other side of the door of yes. It's how do I improve over the next 30 days or over the next 60 days, however long this lasts, doesn't matter. We need to resource ourselves, equip ourselves to become bigger and better so that when this is over, because it will end, I'll be in a position to take hold of what it is I want. So many people are going the other way and they're looking at the no door. But I'm encouraging you, hey, keep that door of yes open. Keep that door of yes open. Because on the other side of this, you'll be continuing to communicate your capabilities much more effective than those who go into a shell right now. And those things are real. We're not going to get into medical things here, the medical sciences, but people are going into depression. People are, this social distancing is sending people into a down spiral. We have to be careful that we stay mindful, be mindful of social distancing, but we do not experience social disengagement. We want to socially distance ourselves from others, but we don't want to socially disengage from others. So this is how we're going to stay relevant, and this is how we're going to pick up a book. That's just one book. Pick up anything Charles Swindoll. Pick up anything John Maxwell. Pick up anything. You can go T.D. Jakes. You can go leadership books. And now more than ever, you're looking. Are we okay? Something happened.
You're back.
You're good.
Okay. I thought we had to pause for station identification there. I was going to say this session is brought to you in part by AAA or something. but we have to, and hopefully we didn't miss out on much there. I don't know how long the gap was there, but all possibilities and potential are on the other side of the door of yes. Lastly, I'll share success requires belief in yourself. It requires belief in yourself. The biggest gap between successful and unsuccessful people is thinking time. And there may be no greater time than right now to spend some time thinking, reading, researching, learning, not only about what you want to do and who you want to become, but learning about who you are and where you've come from. You have to have belief in yourself that where you were and where you are now is not where you're going to be. I'm going to get better. You're going to get better. And I'm not going to get there by myself. I have you to lean on. And you have us to lean on. Career Connectors is all about, look, you have a support network. It's all about the group. It's all about the end goal for everyone. One is not big enough to make it. But with two of us, 3, 4, 10, 20, 50, 100, 1,000, we can make a difference. Success requires belief in oneself. you must know yourself in order to grow yourself. And while we're in this season of COVID-19, coronavirus, social distancing, we need to take some time to get to know ourselves. I've read a few books here in the past few weeks. I did some soul searching. I've had a lot of thinking time. I typically get away, whether it's go up north or travel, to get away and do some thinking time where it's just unfiltered, no disturbances, no cell phones. I normally go in the mountains in places where you can't even have cell service to think. But because we've been here, and because my wife, my daughter, and I were adjusting to life with all three of us working from home, my office has been taken over. That'll be another session down the road. We'll talk about how to function in the midst of dysfunction. Maybe Jessica will come back and we'll deal with that. They've taken over my office, but it has allowed me to think about all the great things and the positives that we've come through and come to up to this point. And it only leads me to believe that greater is on the other side of this. It's a waste of time to evaluate your worth by weighing your value by the opinion of people in the stands. It doesn't mean anything. It's a waste of your time. Don't evaluate your worth by weighing your value by the opinion of the people in the stands. My wife has been encouraging through this whole time, and this is a bigger adjustment for her than it is for me, and for, oh gosh, for the 11-year-old, oh my goodness, to not to see her friends on a daily basis and go to school. This is an adjustment. So my wife and I, we have to come up with ideas around the house. We have to play in forts. We have to do things. We have to play board games. We have to play card games. I've played enough Monopoly over the past few days, and she has beat me in Monopoly. The 11-year-old, she's getting good at Monopoly, and she's getting better. Belief in oneself. I believe that I can make those people around me better, but I can't make anyone better if I'm bitter, and I can't make anyone better if I'm not growing myself. I have to have belief in myself before I can have belief in anyone else. And then the last thought, as we prepare to transition to the rest of the session, the rest of the workshop today, is never leave something. Rather, go toward something. Never leave something. Rather, go toward something. And this is, I often look at my career. I often look at where I've come from. I can go through my college days of playing college ball and trying to pursue Major League Baseball and playing ball overseas all around the world and traveling and meeting people and speaking in front of large crowds, speaking in front of small crowds. And I used to say to myself, man, I left college days, I left those opportunities, I left so many things on the table. And it used to bring me down a little bit. And then I shifted my thought process after reading and being around influential individuals in my life who pour consistently into my life. They pour into my wife's life. They pour into my family's life. They caused me to shift my thought process from, you know what? I didn't leave anything. I'm going towards something bigger. I'm moving and transitioning towards something greater. And that's where you are this morning, this afternoon, depending on where you are globally as you watch this virtually. That's where we're all going this morning. We, as a group, we're all going towards something. We're not leaving anything behind. We're just moving towards a bigger and better space for our lives, for our families, for our communities, because we believe in the bigger picture. And that bigger picture is not about me. It's not about you, but it is about us. So as we look at, the first thing was our perspective, specifically how to have a belief perspective. We covered perspective as a whole is how I effectively communicate my capabilities. We then looked at our belief perspective has a positive impact on others. We looked at how we believe. It captures the attention of others without saying a word. How you believe, how you document things, how you respond to Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Snapchat, how you respond, it impacts others. And if you're doing it in a negative light, that will shine just as bright as a positive light. So we have to be mindful that if we're going to effectively communicate our capabilities, we need to always speak hope. We have to be the what? The neighborhood hope dealers. We have to be the neighborhood hope dealers everywhere we go. Every person we meet, grocery store. Well, we're not going to meet that many people now because we have to stay 6 feet away from one another. I see some of you. You're like, I have to stay 6 feet away from my monitor. I have to stay 6 feet away from my phone. It's social distancing, not social disengagement. But you attract people by your belief perspective, and it impacts so many people. And then lastly, the success that you and I have, that we all have, it requires belief in ourselves. Take the time to get to know who you really are during this time. Do you do the things that you do because your parents did it that way, your guardians did it that way, you learned it, it was habits you picked up when you were in grade school, grammar school, maybe you picked them up in high school, maybe you picked them up in college, maybe it was a previous relationship you were in prior to this. We all do things for a reason. We have to get to know ourselves before we can believe in ourselves. And we do that by taking some thinking time. Take some time off. We have plenty of time now. Don't sit around and say, woe is me. Start thinking, start reading, equipping, resourcing yourself. And that gap happened there, and I was sharing, there are a lot of free virtual leadership workshops being offered now. Everyone's making a major shift. They're trying to figure out how do we get through the next 30, 60, 90 days. This is one way, virtually. Getting in and hearing from people that's going to positively pour into your life, that's going to give you some real life application on, you know what, I can do that. I can do that. Travis shared the story. His mom, 73 years old, she tested positive, and she was battling, she's battling pneumonia at the same time. I'm not worried about it. My belief is she'll get through it. She'll be fine. She'll get through it. I'm not going to get down and say, you know what, it's a bad time. Mom is not doing well. No, she'll be fine. She'll be fine. And if anything else happens, we have to spread hope. We have to spread hope. And if we do, the world around us will become a much better place. Remember, never do something. Always go towards something. That's all of my time. I appreciate your time. And I promise, as long as you stay connected, we're connectors, we'll see each other at another time. Back to you, Jessica.
Thank you, Travis. Oh my goodness, that was so good. I was furiously taking notes here, and I mean, you had so many good points. I just want to reiterate a couple of them. I mean, the hope dealer thing, I think we can all figure out how to be a hope dealer. That's just phenomenal. How to transition to something greater. I think so often we think of transition as a time of hardship, a time of change, the unknown. But if we can get our mind around that thought of It's time we think about transitioning to something even greater. You know my story, Travis, where Career Connectors wasn't here during the recession 11 years ago. And it just became a thought of volunteering. And over the last 11 years, all the right people have come and been able to serve, and we've been able to serve, over 40,000 people now. So imagine if I wouldn't closed a business, I wouldn't have been able to have this opportunity. So I think, what can we do now to transition to something greater? So thank you so much. We so appreciate you. Julia, did you have any questions that you would like to bring up to Travis, or to Travis now?
We had so many people that were inspired by you, Travis. A lot of great responses, a lot of great quotes that people were snagging from your speech. It looks like we had one question specifically on how do you create distance and stay and still create hope for hope drainers. So people that are stealing away. How do you create distance but yet still create hope for hope drainers?
For hope dreamers.
Drainers.
Oh, hope drainers, hope drainers, hope drainers. Excellent question. I say love, Julia. I thought I knew what love was when I was younger. We all dated in our teenage years. We said we loved our significant others. I got married when I was 28. I thought I knew what love was. My wife and I, we continued to grow. And there are a lot of negative nannies out there, negative Nancy's. If anyone on the line, if your name is Nancy, I'm not talking about you. But I've come to realize that if we can love through the negativity, if we can love through the hope drainers, if we can love through the people who they really don't mean us any positive in our life, we'll be okay. That's how we distance ourselves from those individuals. Because people who their ultimate goal in life is to just bring everyone down. If you continue to love anyway and love them from a distance, you don't have to be around them all the time, but love them from a distance. Don't cuss them out on Facebook. Don't cuss them out on social media, because people will see it, recruiters will see it. Just say, hey, at this time, maybe we've grown apart. Maybe we can connect at a later date, later time. But as for me and what I'm trying to do, I'm going to continue to grow and share with people. I'm going to continue to grow. I'm going to read books. I'm going to do this. Let people know what you're doing that's positively impacting not only you, but the people around you. And that's how I think we love people, through the madness and through the mess. And this will be a big test right now, because there's a lot of hope drainers out there right now that they don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. They're not in the 8x8 fort. They're on the outside in the darkness, and there are only a few of us on the inside with the light. So hopefully I answered that. Do it in love.
Great, thanks. We also had one question wanting to know what dosage of Flintstone vitamins Travis takes. Thank you, Ron.
Ron, I'll get the specifics. I have the bottle in my bedroom. I'll have to get that, and I will respond to you and let you know. What I'll do is I'll take a picture of it and I'll send it to Jessica, and you guys can look at it. But I don't know. But it's been the same bottle for 30 plus years.
Great.
It's never changed. We're going to put that on the blog, a picture of you with the Flintstone vitamins.
Flintstones, perfect.
Let's do it.
Travis, thank you so much for being, oh, go ahead, Julia.
We had one more question, and this might be one, Jessica, for you to answer. They asked about how to effectively answer when asked in interviews why you left your previous job right now.
Yeah, well, I believe that is a really good one-on-one coaching opportunity. So I had just recommended that at the end, we're going to show a process for anyone to get connected with a career coach, a LinkedIn coach, an interview coach. And so I think that's probably a really good way. Did you have anything to add to that, Travis?
The resources you're going to provide will be great. I always look at opportunity, how to effectively answer why I left my last position. I wasn't growing. I wasn't being challenged. And I wanted to grow into something bigger and better. I started reading up. I started learning, researching on things that I really wanted to do. And I didn't have those opportunities to grow. You can take that angle and go a number of ways. But ultimately, growth is a way to effectively answer that question in an interview. I left because I wanted growth opportunities. And I had maybe reached the ceiling at the previous employer or in the previous role I was in.
That's great. That's great. That takes care of it from the floor.
Okay, well, thank you, Travis. We appreciate you being here. You are welcome to stay if you'd like, but we are going to switch over to our hiring companies now. And so the next 3 speakers will be with our hiring companies. And then at the end, we will have information on resources. And so let's see, Christina, go ahead and get her live. Sheila, I think you're working on that. Christina DiMartino, she is the Director of Talent Acquisition at Voya Financial, and she's been with the company for almost 6 years. She has over 25 years of experience in recruiting, talent development, marketing, and relationship building in Fortune 500 firms, boutique companies, and entrepreneurial startups. Christina's area of expertise are in leadership, team development, career advice, mentor coaching, and more. She's also recruiting, and she's done sales and marketing, recruiting, all levels of recruiting. She holds a degree in accounting and a bachelor's degree in marketing, and she is actually in Connecticut, so she's on the East Coast, and she's living there with her tutors. Welcome, Christina. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate being here, and I think that somewhere in here I'm supposed to have control so that I can get to
bottom left.
There we go. My arrows seem to be, hold on one second, because my arrows seem to be hidden behind, there we go. Terrific. So, all right. So I do have to say, following Travis, that's a hard act to follow. Let me say, and in the comments, I'm with whoever said during this time of, trying to make these adjustments while being at home. How do we stay 6 feet away from our refrigerators? That was a good one. That was a really good one. So anyway, so let me talk to you a little bit about Voya Financial. Yes, I am talking to you from the East Coast. However, Voya, a little over a year ago, had made the commitment to the Metro Phoenix area to bring in a little over 1,000 jobs. We have been in our temporary location, which was located in Tempe. I will say that we are successfully, the trucks left the Tempe office over the weekend, and all of our boxes and everything is ready for us when we can return back to work in our new state-of-the-art Chandler facility, which in a couple of slides I do have some details about that. But we're very, very excited to be expanding our footprint in the Metro Phoenix area. We do have an investment management office that has been in Scottsdale. It's been in Scottsdale for a number of years. So today I'm going to talk about, call center positions, although Voya is hiring for a number of different positions, and we are, even as we go through this pandemic, we are still hiring. Business, it will continue as usual. We have several opportunities in our Scottsdale office, so you will be able to go on to our career site and look at any opportunity. You can just search in Arizona to find out what we have available in Arizona. So our call center positions, just so that you know, we are holding classes for the call center positions every month. We do that. It's an 8-week training program, paid training. As you can see here with some of the highlights, we do offer a very competitive salary with quarterly incentives. We match dollar for dollar up to a 6% match on your 401k. And that begins on the first day that you start. So all of our benefits, healthcare, dental, vision, everything starts on the first day, including if you choose to contribute to a 401k. There's no waiting period on that. We offer 20 days of all-encompassing paid time off, although there are some restrictions to taking time off during your training period, but all new employees get 20 days. Monday through Friday only. We do offer referral bonuses, and just a couple of highlights around, the consistent awards that Voya does get. And again, I'm trying to, there we go. Let me just fast forward. So this is a little bit of information you can see over on the left-hand side of the slide. That is our new building in Chandler. We're very, very excited about that. 150,000 square feet. I have toured the building. It's beautiful. It's bright. It's all of the desks are give you the option to do stand-up if you want to, so that you don't feel like you have to sit down all the time. It's a very collaborative environment. There's 5 training rooms. There's going to be a cafeteria with barista style and revolving restaurants that will come in, I believe daily, if not weekly, but I think it's daily. There's a patio outside. There's a fitness center and over 400 covered parking spots, which I understand is very important to everybody out in Arizona, not so much here in Connecticut. So again, just going through some of the highlights of this position, any position at Voya, right? So as far as benefits are concerned, one of the things that I do like to point out when we talk about Voya's culture, it's one of the things that I'm most passionate about. And as it was mentioned in my bio, I've been with Voya coming up on 6 years now, and 2 of the things that I love to highlight about my employment here is, one, I love to talk about our culture, and part of the reason I like to talk about our culture is the second item that I'm very passionate about, and that's our CEO, Rod Martin. Our culture would not be what our culture is without Mr. Martin. I have had the opportunity on several occasions to meet and converse with him. I do like to share that with people on the outside who are not familiar with the Voya culture. He is just a genuine, authentic, nice human being. And when you have an opportunity to meet with him, he gives you his undivided attention no differently than he would give to his CFO. He makes you feel like you're the most important conversation he's having during that day. And everybody at Voya has a job responsibility. So whether it's call center or whether it's a senior vice president, everybody has a job responsibility. Obviously, some responsibilities might be a little bit greater than others, but all jobs at Voya contribute to the success of our business. And that is never undermined. You're never made to feel less important when you're working here. And, that all stems from our CEO. He surrounds himself with a senior leadership team that portrays very similar characteristics to the CEO, and it just emanates throughout our entire organization. So one of the things that Voya does offer to all of our employees, separate from your paid time off, is volunteer time. We give all employees 40 hours a year to be able to volunteer to their favorite charity. Again, that's something that we are very passionate about. That stems from our CEO. We do a National Day of Service, typically in May. I think this year, given the current situation of COVID-19, I think that's going to be pushed off maybe to the fall. But we do it. And if you have if you have a position that you're not able to take 8 hours a day to go and contribute to that charity, there are opportunities for you to be able to do that in-house, okay? We offer tuition reimbursement, and I mentioned the 401k match. What I didn't mention is Voya also has a pension plan. The pension plan is available to every employee, and most companies have done away with that. And if you're familiar with a pension plan is basically free money that is contributed on your behalf by the company towards your retirement. I can't find my arrows. Is somebody else controlling the? I'm not able to fast forward to forward that slide. There we go. So this destination U, from a call center perspective, just gives you a general idea, because we like to make sure that people understand that coming into the call center, if you're looking for a career change, or if you are looking for advancement in the financial services industry, these are all of the different career paths that, starting in the call center, that could lead you through Voya. Starting out in the call center, there truly is no greater place to learn about the company's products than in a call center, because obviously you have to be an expert in our products in order to be successful in dealing with our customers. And this is just showing you a roadmap of other opportunities inside of Voya that would be available should you start in the call center. And we can move to the next slide. I apologize. I don't. The arrow is not on the bottom of my screen there. I don't know why. Oh, there it is. Okay. So diversity and inclusion, obviously very important to Voya as an organization. It is an initiative that we're very passionate about. In addition to that, you can leave it there too. With the Voya Gives Back, this talks a little bit more about, our employee giving campaign. 1.6 million was invested in supporting communities across the country. In May, that was our National Day of Service. We gave more than 12,000 hours back to the community. And then Customer Service Week is something that we do to celebrate our customers and all of the employees that support those customers, just to give you a couple of ideas about that. And I believe that the last slide, there you go, is some of the awards and recognitions. You can go out to voya.com and see all of our awards. I'm just highlighting a few here. World's most ethical, we did get that 6 years in a row. As you can see, from 2014 to 2020. One of the ones that I like to talk about is the Great Places to Work. Great Places to Work is a certification that we have received for a number of years consistently. And the Great Places to Work, if you're not familiar with that, is that's all based on employee feedback. It has nothing to do with, to get to a room and say, oh, Voya is great. That is all about what the employees feel is beneficial to the organization.
Christina, can you, two questions.
So Jessica, yeah.
Can you tell us quickly, what does Voya do? Your financial services organization.
So Voya is a retirement services company. We have three major business segments. Retirement services is our largest business segment. We have a division. So we do hire call center to support employee benefits as well. And we do have some of those that are supported in Arizona, as well as our Minneapolis office. And we also have an investment management division. Investment management is the office that I mentioned up in Scottsdale.
Great. And the positions that you have right now, are they all starting at the call center and then you have career pathways, or do you open it up to other, are you hiring for other things as well?
We are hiring for a lot of other things as well. I do recommend that you go to voya.com/careers, which I think is on the last slide. You can search in Arizona for any positions that we have available. I'm currently working on a couple of legal positions in Scottsdale right now that are available. We do have call center. We do have back office positions. The reason I mentioned call center is because call center, obviously, we're hiring for that every single month. So one of the things that I would like to just mention, obviously, because our way of working has been altered because of this pandemic. We had first class since everybody has been requested to work from home. We had our first class in Arizona start on Monday. And obviously from an organizational perspective, we needed to very quickly figure out how we were going to start, 30 people. We needed to figure out how everybody was going to get their equipment, how we are going to train everybody. That typically is training for 8 weeks in a classroom. And I do have to say that along with many other companies out there, but I can only speak from Voya's perspective, excuse me, is that we were able in a very short period of time to make sure that all new hires received their equipment. They are doing virtual training. Everybody is safe in their homes so that they can remain in a healthy environment until we can, until it's safe to get back into that beautiful new facility in Chandler.
Great, thank you. And one more question that I saw is, do you do any part-time hires, and is there benefits for part-timers?
Yes, there are benefits for part-time, and it's funny that you should ask because we just finished pulling together a job description that we were going to pilot in Arizona for part-time opportunities in the call center. So that is forthcoming. So to date, we haven't been really focusing on that, but we are going. So if we have a target class of say 20, we may offer, two of those positions as part-time, which essentially would be 4 part-time individuals for that.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Christina. We appreciate you being here. And anyone can connect with you, I'm sure, on LinkedIn, but also go to the Voya's career page. Thanks for being here, Christina.
Thank you.
Okay. We are going to move over to Ryan. Hi, Ryan. Thanks for being here today.
Good morning.
Ryan has 16 years experience in the HR arena, serving in several industries, including hospitality, manufacturing, payroll, and HR outsourcing. He holds a bachelor's of business administration and HR management from University of Toledo and a master's of administration from Colorado State. He is a professionally certified from SHRM, Society of HR Management, and an HR Resources Certification Institute. He's a U.S. Navy veteran, thank you, Ryan, and he has been with West for 4 years in the HR manager supporting operations and R&D at the Scottsdale location. So welcome, glad to have you.
Great, thank you so much. Yes, as Jessica said, I've been with West Pharmaceuticals for 4 years, and we've got a very large footprint here in Arizona. We've got 5 different facilities, 2 of which are in Scottsdale and that I'm supporting, and then 3 are down in the Tempe area. And just a little bit about West. Let's see if I can get here we go. So West, we're a leading global manufacturer in the design of product technology advance for integrated containment systems and delivery systems for injectable medicines. West has been around for 95 years and really got its start in the rubber sealers and stoppers arena. So when you're looking at the syringe that you're about to be injected with, you see that little plunger in there. It's made from a product called elastomer. 95% chance that's a West product. And we also make the little stoppers and the little sealers that are on top of the vials that you would see as well too in your doctor's office that's containing those injectable medicines. So our headquarters is in Exton, Pennsylvania, and we've got a global footprint around the world as well too, with about 25 different manufacturing facilities on just about every continent, so except Antarctica. So a lot going on, a lot of growth, and a lot of that growth is taking place here in Arizona. And I know that with the economy being as strong as it has been up until the recent events, that it's been challenging to find people for our roles on both the hourly and the salaried side. And I caught wind that I just got the email from Denise and Jessica saying that there's a lot of people being displaced and a lot of people looking for new opportunities. And I think this is a great time for us to partner and help people where they need to be helped. With that, I'm kind of representing all the sites here in Arizona, and wanted to talk about some of the positions that we have. But first, before I get into that, I wanted to talk about what is our mission? What does West do outside of just manufacturing those devices? Our mission is we contain and deliver injectable therapies that improve patients' lives. So what we do is manufacture life-saving devices here. And our vision is to be the world leader in the integrated containment and delivery of injectable medicines. And our values, our 3 core values that we instill in everybody from day one, and even in the selection process, is that 1, our passion for our customers, that we tie the value of the work that we do to the passion for our customers, our leadership in quality. Every product that we make is of the highest quality. No corners are being cut, nothing is being compromised. We strive to be the leader in quality leadership in our market segment. And then our people, our One West team. Without our people and our people strategy, we would never be able to be in the position that we're in today. And so we're very passionate about our core values and the 3 pillars of our values and what we do here on a daily basis. Now, some of the positions we have, there's about 60 some open roles right now that we're sourcing for amongst our, or even more, maybe close to the 70 positions that we're sourcing for. And I just wanted to kind of put a splattering out there for everybody to look at to see what we've got available. We've got everything from hourly production roles that are starting out around $14.50 per hour with a shift differential, to quality engineering roles, senior engineering roles, technician roles out there. So we've got a lot of variety in the positions that we're looking for. And the benefits that we offer are pretty competitive compared to other manufacturing companies within our industry. And similar to what Voya was saying, is that we have a very rich culture as well too, that helps us attract and retain a lot of our talent. And here's just another list of the open positions that we have. For our hourly roles, we are a 24-hour manufacturing organization at all of our facilities here in Arizona. So we've got first shift, second shift, third shift, and even a thing called fourth shift, where those are 12-hour shifts that kind of overlap with some of the other production areas. And so like I had mentioned, there is a shift premium for those positions as well too. And applying for the roles, the easiest way to go out and really get into all the open positions out there is that if interested candidates can go out to westpharma.com's to our career page. And once you click on this link here, then it will take you to this little blue box where it says apply to join West. And then you can go over to the career opportunities section there. And then you can either search by keywords and do an exact match. You can go by job title, or you can go in job titles or description. And then you can filter it out by language, function, job country, and Arizona. So I took this snippet here and I just kind of put it onto the Arizona, and it shows you the number of open jobs that we're currently sourcing for at the moment in Arizona alone. And so we're looking at 69 of those. And then when you hit job search, it'll take you to the, I'll just go back to the open positions. And then what you would do is you would just go ahead and you would click on any of the positions. It would pull up the job description and give you the summary of the position, the basic essential functions and duties, and so forth. And then that way, then it'll take you through the entire application process of filling out all of your information, uploading your cover letter if needed, your resume, putting in your contact information and so forth, and then putting you into the system, into the applicant tracker, and getting you in front of our talent acquisition folks too. So we've got a very good talent acquisition team here locally in Arizona. So they're very close to the positions. They're very close to the hiring managers and the HR partners and within the different sites. So that way we can help keep moving our applicant flow a lot faster and keeping it going. My contact information. So here's my email address. I think I put it in there twice. Let's see here. So yep, you can email me, ryan.rybarczyk@westpharma.com. And if there's any inquiries, feel free to reach out to me, and then I can go ahead and direct those to the appropriate person on the talent acquisition team and help move those along. And if you put in the email that you're being referred to somebody that was on this call, even better. So then that way I can, let Jessica and the team know that we've got some people coming to us via this organization.
That is great. Thank you for providing that, Ryan. Quick question.
Yep.
If someone wants to apply for more than one position, do they go through that whole process each time, or do they select multiple?
Yeah, they would have to apply to each role individually.
Yep, great. That's great. Okay, I think that's all the questions we have so far. And we also put the link up in the chat box for anyone that has wants to click directly and go over to their site. So again, Ryan, thank you so much for being here. We greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, so now we have Alex coming. Alex is with U-Haul. He was born and raised in Pittsburgh, California. He played 3 years of varsity football and had a scholarship to Utah State. And during his college career, he worked hard to graduate with a double major in marketing, communications, and sociology. And while he was in school, he built his resume as a BET Networks internship, where he worked on different production shows, such as the Hip Hop Awards and BET Awards. After graduation, he started at Aerotech, and where he gained his recruiting experience. Aerotech is a staffing firm. And after 3 years, he was ready for a new adventure, and he moved here to Arizona. His career advanced with Mesa Airlines as a pilot recruiter, and he was also able to obtain his pilot's license. And then in 2019, just last year, he started his new career with U-Haul, and he's excited to see about this new journey. So welcome, Alex. We're glad to have you today.
Yes, hello. Thank you again. With them circumstances, definitely glad we're able to, everyone still meet and be able to connect, so we could, continue to push forward as soon as everything gets back to normal. A little bit what I'm going to be talking about today is, again, just U-Haul's history and what we're doing now as far as hiring. Let's see. Here we go. So U-Haul was founded in 1945 by L.S. Schoen and Anna Mary Carty Schoen. U-Haul trucks and trailers can be rented in town or one way anywhere in the United States or Canada. 20,000 independent dealers and over 1,900 company-owned U-Haul moving and storage centers. And at the time, I do just want to, kind of let everyone know that we are, U-Haul is really making a big push, because we know there are people who, I know with the whole social distancing, not as far as moving, but needing storage. And a lot of students needing to, have to move back home or doing things like that. So I know we're really making a big push to help out in that effort. And again, so largest truck fleet in the world, 100,000 trucks in the leading industry in the do-it-yourself. Let's see. So the iconic Central Tower. So we are in downtown Phoenix. That's where the corporate headquarters are. Built in 1959. Over a year after deciding to move to the company headquarters, that's when we went to downtown Phoenix. And on July 4th, 1967, the first U-Haul employee moved into that building. U-Haul shared building space with the FBI in 1967 and was also the state headquarters for the Robert Kennedy presidential campaign in 1968. The striking stone lion statues, if you happen to ever walk by or go to the U-Haul campus, there are all these lions that the Shogun's brought back from China. In Chinese culture, again, the lions are believed to have powerful protection, benefits, and often represent prosperity. So U-Haul is a sister company within the larger company Americo. So within Americo, there are 4 companies. So I'll be talking about just a few. RepWest Insurance Company. Again, U-Haul International has been self-insured since 2004. But however, RepWest Insurance has proudly supported U-Haul since 1973. Oxford Life Insurance. Basically what Oxford is their supplement life insurance to the senior citizen community. As you know, the older you get, the harder it is to get life insurance, or it gets way too expensive. So they help and supplement that. And then Americo Real Estate provides real estate and development services to the U-Haul system. The company acquires existing buildings, existing self-storage facilities, and bare land, as well as manage leases and commercial tenants, cell towers, and billboards. So they do pretty much about everything. And so as of right now, this is what I really want to get into. So the opportunities available that we are hiring for at the moment. So more so in the contact center, customer service, sales. Those positions are always in need, full-time and part-time, work from home, as well as the field positions. So the field positions we have available right now are general managers, which basically responsible for profitably and productively U-Haul moving and storage centers and to achieve established standards, sales goals, and profit objectives. Assistant moving center managers, again, just assistant managers, and then the field relief managers work closely with the regional management to ensure that, again, all the U-Haul centers within the geographical area are provided with, capable leadership, guidance, things that they need to succeed. And let's see. So also, again, part-time positions within the field, his professional service technicians, reservation agents, which are, work in the regional marketing office, help reserving those trucks, trailers, and other related rental equipment. And that's really what we're, hiring for at the moment, again, due to the whole coronavirus epidemic. And customer service representatives, again, all those all the time. Again, U-Haul benefits. I think I'm not sure how to go back, but just a brief introduction on the U-Haul benefits. The 2 main ones I like to really present are the medical. U-Haul takes on the premium for medical after 90 days of service. So you're not paying that, again, bi-weekly fee for that. Especially now with everything going on, U-Haul is actually taking on the copay for that as well. So I know they are really vested into your health over here, as well as the employee stock plan. The employee stock plan, you are vested 20% after the first year, and then you go up 20% after every year until after 6 years, to where you're vested 100%. You become a 100% owner within the company. And then again, that's all the stock that U-Haul gives you throughout that time. It varies, but no matter where you stay or leave after that 6 years, that stock is yours. And we also have vision, dental, 401k as well. And then again, Healthier You, the program U-Haul initiated, again, really just to impact everyone who works with U-Haul, again, and just the community in general. We have Get Fit programs, nicotine cessation programs. A big one I like to, utilize is you go to the gym. I believe it's like 30 times within the month, or you get like a $75, return back. So, which is really good. And that's just a funny picture of me with all my information. So please, if you happen to have any questions, concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'll be more than happy to help.
Thank you, Alex. And I know you also have Jim on the line with you, one of the other recruiters with U-Haul. I haven't seen any questions pop up yet, but if we do get any questions, I will make sure to address them when, as I'm finishing up here today. Thank you so much, Alex. We appreciate you and your time.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to go through a couple things as we finish out today. So let's see, I think I'm going to take the remote here. Okay, first of all, if you are have not heard of the Career Connectors Academy, we do have online training now available. Much of this is, or some of this is available as well through, if you get approved through a grant funding through the state of Arizona, Maricopa County, or the city of Phoenix. And so check out cca.training. There's some IT certifications that are covered up, but then there's a ton of other certifications that are available as well. So it's a great new partnership we have. And if you're interested in any kind of certifications or training, that's a great place to start. We also have all of these corporate partners that help us make this program happen. We are now going to be doing these programs weekly since we're in a virtual environment, which I will talk to you in just a minute. Okay, we are in partnership with Best Companies AZ, Arizona at Work, Pipeline, and Pipeline AZ, which together we launched this website last week. Go to bestcompanies.com/resources. And what we have out there are verified companies that have jobs that are hiring now. There are thousands of jobs listed. I think we have probably, we're up to around 90-ish or so employers that have verified their jobs and that they're available. So check this link out. Julia just posted it in the chat if you want to link directly to it. But that page has resources for anyone looking for a job. So there's information on different organizations that can be helpful. And then another tab talks about all the companies that are hiring. And then another tab is for employers that may be going through any kind of hard situation, layoff, or anything like that. Also, we have some options for you guys when we're not on a webinar together. One of the things we offer is called a DISC assessment. It's at no cost to you. It's through a partnership we have with Top Talent Consulting. They will provide the DISC to you at no cost at all. Just go on that link. It's under our resources section on our website. Also, just go there and you can take the DISC assessment. It will tell you about some of your gifts, some of your, maybe your, we have on there our ideal work environment, a lot of different great information for you. We also are blogging today, and so we will actually have this presentation posted on our Facebook page. If you'd like to go back and you need another jolt of Travis, that presentation will be out on our Facebook page, but we will also be recapping the whole talk today. And so that information will be under our resources, under our events tab on our website as well. We are not in a place right now where we can take professional photos, unfortunately. However, I wanted to keep this on here to make sure you know if you've ever gotten your photo taken with us, they're still put out there. So you can go to that website and pull your photo down. When we start doing live events again, we will have our photos, our professional photographers back out. They are ready to get as well as everybody else. And then, of course, we have our different social media channels, which you can check out anytime. We're trying to post updates Monday through Friday. I do a 3-minute update that talks about the environment we're in, some of the things you can do, just some quick guidance. And so if you'd like just that little jolt of information every day, I encourage you to check out on our Facebook page, our Instagram, or LinkedIn. You can see those are happening every day. Okay, so now we are so excited to offer this new program. It's something we, at every event, if it's a live event, we have an hour of time where you can meet with a LinkedIn coach, a resume writer, career coach, a finance coach. You can do interviews, mock interviews. Well, because we're not in person anymore, we're not able to provide that one-on-one in person. But we've launched this new program where if you go to this URL, careerconnectors.org/coaching, you can fill out a short little form. It's going to basically ask your name, email address, phone number, and then how you would like to meet with a coach. And once you submit that form, we have someone on our team, her name is Beth, who will be managing this process, and she will be connecting you with resume writers, with LinkedIn coaches, whatever it is that you need. We will try and get you one-on-one connected with them. We have such a phenomenal team of professionals that are volunteering their time, that have stepped up to the plate even more so than ever before to provide people with these resources. If you need this support, please submit a request. We are doing everything we can to try and get you help right now. The only request we have is that if you need to cancel, you do it 24 hours in advance. We have to be very cognizant of the time that we are having our volunteers serve and volunteer. And so I just ask that you honor their time. And if you book time with them, that you go through with that. So I encourage you to check out that URL, submit your request, and we will get you with a volunteer. All right, so next week we have another speaker that has not been out and has not been able to speak in years because she moved away from Arizona. And when she found out we were going virtual, she offered to come back to us. So we're so excited. Christy Staub will be back. How to make decisions in calm, crisis, and chaos. Right now we have Dexcom confirmed as one of our hiring companies. There will be 2 more. So watch your email, because that's where we will be posting. You'll get an email on Monday mornings with the information and who's coming to speak. So we're doing the one on April 9th, but after our April 9th, we are moving all of our virtual events to Wednesday mornings. We kept the April 9th because that's our regular scheduled program, but we are going to be going to Wednesday mornings. So you always know 9 to 11 is our event for the months of April and May. We don't know what June looks like, obviously, yet, but we will be getting that updated as soon as we know what's going on in our environment and if we can pull back in-person programs again soon. I know Denise posted on the chat how exciting Christy is back. She's wonderful, you guys. I encourage you to join us next week. All right, you can, if you did not register for today's event, if you just popped on or you're in our Facebook Lives, go to careerconnectors.org and sign up for our e-updates, because that's how you will get our emails on Monday mornings. If you did register, then you will get our emails on Monday mornings. You'll be in our database. Okay, thank you, volunteers. Thank you so much. Gary is doing our blog today. Julia has been the one popping in and out asking questions. She's doing our Facebook Live. Thank you so much. Resume writers are from the Resume Writers Council of Arizona. And so again, professional, certified, they know what they're talking about. And then we have a ton of virtual coaches. Also, this virtual format is fairly new to us, and so we're still figuring out some of the bugs and how to be better and how to connect with you better. So if you wouldn't mind taking a second, if you have any feedback, just shoot us an email at contact@careerconnectors.org. We truly value any feedback you have for us. Of course, we'll be going through the chat and seeing if there was any guidance in there, but we would greatly appreciate that. And then I just want to say thank you all for being here. Again, we are doing our best to try to connect you with the resources you need. I'm just gonna, Julia, do you want to come live for a second? Were there other questions before I wrap up today?
The only other real question was for Voya, and they were asking for Christy's contact information and if Voya has any type of virtual opportunities, or if they're all within the building after the crisis.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Christina is on. I don't think she's on anymore. So I haven't seen any virtual opportunities yet, but that doesn't mean they're not there. So if we can get an answer from her, we'll shoot her a note and we'll put it on the blog. We'll answer that on the blog. All right. So Michael, if you do not see mock interview on the coaching part, put career coach. And then when Beth contacts you, then she will, you can let her know that it's specifically interviewing that you need. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. We greatly appreciate you being here. Know that we are praying for you guys, that you find the right thing and you go from a transition to hopeful to something even better. Praying for you all to land into the right career. Thank you.